2025 is already shaping up to be so exciting for tarot nerds. Hello everybody, it's Sylvie. Welcome or welcome back to Tarot Magpie. I hope you're doing all kinds of good today. In this video, I am looking at the decks and books that are already on my wish list because we may only be couple of days into the new year, but my wish list is already looking pretty sizable. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to share what has caught my eye, what I'm interested in, and I hope you enjoy. All right, we are starting with the tarot related books, and this first one is The Shadow Path, A Journey to Uncovering Your Depths and Illuminating Your Full Potential by Chelsea Pippin Mizzi. She has come out with a couple of other books, and I actually have both of them. So this one, Tarot for Creativity, I was gifted for Christmas. And she has also published the Tarot Spreads Yearbook, which I also have, and there is a deck to go with, which I don't have because I imagine I already have all that content in the book. So this is on my wish list pretty much on the strength of her existing books and how I get on with them. And so this is a shadow work journal kind of a book. It says this beginner-friendly 10-week journey guides you along a path of self-discovery. It's got 365 journal prompts and short lessons, journaling prompts, visualizations, field trips, so that's pretty cool, and creative exercises designed to help you safely explore and engage with your shadow. That is interesting. Field trips. This has really kind of caught my attention. This is on my wish list, but this isn't a book that I am determined to buy. It's just one I'm interested in, so I sort of keep it on my wish list to keep it in my kind of field of vision, as it were. I'm not the biggest journaler in the world. I don't know that I need this, but I am interested, and I will probably see how I get along a little bit more with her Tarot for Creativity book, because that has a few different prompts and things in it. It's got all sorts of stuff in it, actually. But I will see how I get along with that book and then maybe revisit this one if I feel like her style of journaling and exercises kind of gels with me. All right, next up, this is actually not tarot related, but it is divination. This is Queering the Runes, Reclaiming Ancestral Wisdom in Rune Magic and Mythology by Siri Vincent Plouffe and Lara Vesta. I have never touched a rune in my life, but I have been kind of interested, and especially more recently in the last sort of 3 to 6 months, I have been getting more and more curious about trying out different divination systems. And then I saw this and I was like, oh, we're queering them? Yes, absolutely. So this is another one that I'm not determined to buy. This is out on January the 28th. I'm not pre-ordering this. I'm not going to get it as soon as it comes out, but I am definitely going to keep an eye on it. And if I feel like I want to get into runes, then this will be the book that I buy for myself. I feel like I've also heard good things about this. Ooh, okay. Queering the Runes, A Radical Heathen's History of Runes. I love this kind of genre of books. I mentioned this in my haul video, which might be up before or after this one, but there is a kind of like subgenre of radical queer tarot, witchcraft, and associated books that I'm really loving seeing. And specifically here, like, to be queer is to be liminal. It's not just kind of rainbow washing, it is actually queering as an action. And I really love that these books are out there. And like I say, if I decide I want to get into runes, this is the book I will be getting. The Essence of Tarot, Using Essential Oils, Magic and Rituals to Empower Your Readings. This is by Mary Kay Greer. And I found this in a having a look at upcoming releases video that I did a few months ago, and I'm intrigued. I love Mary Kay Greer, no surprises there. And this is just really interesting to me. So I've not done a lot of work with like essential oils and aromatherapy, but they've always kind of been like a background in my life. I've never done a huge amount of work with them, but like my mum has always had essential oils. Some kind of like low level aromatherapy has always been present in my life. So I'm kind of really interested in this. So no previous experience with essential oils is needed. Greer offers a brief crash course along with details about the historical role of scent and perfumery in magical and divinatory rituals. So that sounds really cool on its own. But then we're combining it with the tarot. So oils and scents to correspond with each of the 78 cards of the tarot. Like, that sounds just very cool. Instructions for crafting tarot oils are included. I just feel like this sounds really interesting. Do we have a contents page? So essential oils introduction, a magical history about the tarot, imagination and aroma imaging. That sounds extremely cool. The tarot oils with astrological correspondences, major arcana oils, minor arcana oils, magic and ritual, tarot oil techniques. So these look like little exercises like grounding and centering, making and using them, consecrating them, and then tarot spreads. Excellent. So this sounds... Ooh. And then, yeah, so Mary Kay Greer, I think, wrote a whole book about, like, is it called Your Tarot Archetype, maybe? About your kind of year cards, your personality and soul cards. So it doesn't surprise me that this is also in here. So this looks very cool. This is out on January 25th. All of these dates, by the way, are obviously UK dates. Some of these are probably already out in the States and maybe in other places. I'm really intrigued by this. I'm not pre-ordering it, but I think I'm going to put this one on my wish list. So this is a wish list. I have my own private personal wish lists where I just keep a note of things I'm interested in. And then I have like a public wish list, which is the one that sort of friends and family have access to. So I will probably put this on that wish list and then see if it makes its way into my life for my next birthday or something. Okay, Tarot Mysticism, the Psycho-Spiritual Technology of the Thoth Tarot by Joe Monteleone. This I also discovered in that browsing upcoming releases video that I did. Joe Monteleone is on YouTube. I know that I've watched some of his videos before. He's big into Thoth, and I think it was in the comments of that last video I did. So this is all allegedly because I have not fact checked this. I believe that somebody said that his approach is like very neurodivergent friendly or something like that. I hope that I'm remembering correctly. Like I say, big pinch of salt, but that is very interesting to me, that kind of approach. And this is a very like mystical, magical tarot, obviously explore the mysteries of tarot, Kabbalah, numerology, and aspects of non-duality. And so like some of this is, I think, a bit too mystical for me, but again, it's one that I'm keeping on my radar. This is £27. This is out on February 8th, by the way, but this is 27 quid. It's not a cheap one. I will not be getting it anytime soon, but I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for reviews because I think this could be really interesting, but it is a little bit out of my wheelhouse when it comes to tarot. This is not my typical flavor of tarot practice. I'm definitely more on the psycho side of psycho-spiritual, and this is, like I say, it looks very cool, but not my comfort zone. So I'm not going to rush to get myself a copy, but I am intrigued. All right, this one, I don't think I've pre-ordered this yet. I might have pre-ordered it from Hive, but this is Tarot in Other Words, an essential anthology by leading queer tarot writers. So of course I'm going to buy this. I was just talking about how much I love the kind of queering of the tarot. And so this is edited by Cassandra Snow, who wrote Queering the Tarot, which I actually didn't love. It wasn't bad, it just wasn't what I was looking for at the time that I read it, but I know that she is quite beloved and she's written a few different books. So she has edited this, and somewhere I found a contents page, I think. But here, contributors include lots of names that I don't immediately recognize, some that I do, like Charlie Claire Burgess, who I just love everything they put out, Maria Minnis, who wrote Tarot for the Hard Work, Meg Jones-Wall, who wrote Finding the Fool, Siri Vincent, ooh, that was this book, Queering the Runes. They wrote this book, so they're also popping up in this anthology. And it is about the kind of act of queering the tarot. Teaches us to honor differences in others and understand that what is good for one may not be good for all. There is a historical basis for why tarot and queerness go hand in hand for a lot of cultures, such as the Romani and other oppressed groups forced into nomadic lifestyles. Fortune telling using cards and other tools was and is to this day survival work. This is the same reason we see so many queer, BIPOC, and disabled people take up tarot in the US. So I'm gathering it's going to be pretty US centric, but that's fine. Doesn't mean it's not interesting or valuable. And it's 10 essays from multiple queer perspectives, which is great because as much as a single book by a single author is great, definitely having those multiple perspectives especially when you're talking about something like queerness, which is very personal, it's very intersectional. I'm really excited for this book. So this is out on the May 5th in the UK. Can't remember if I've already pre-ordered this from Hive, but this is one I'm prioritizing. I'm also going to be prioritizing this. This is The Tarot Architect, How to Become the Master Builder of Your Spiritual Temple by Lon Milo Duquette, who wrote the Thoth book that I have, and foreword by Mary K. Greer, which is, always a ringing endorsement. I was just sold by the way this is described. A masterclass on the tarot, its magical nature, correspondences, and its power as a tool of self-transformation and self-realization. A transformative journey into the arcane world of tarot that guides you through the depths of tarot with a unique blend of scholarship and humor, transforming your understanding of self and universe alike. Guided meditations, correspondences, and thought-provoking exercises that will enrich your practice and ignite your spiritual evolution. Also looking at Western mysticism, Hermeticism, Kabbalah, the spirits within the cards. I'm not sure what that refers to. I'm not sure if that refers to something Kabbalistic or something else. Unique colors, basic symbolism. So this just looks really cool. This looks like a kind of workbook, which is the flavor of tarot book I've really been loving lately. It's not just, I don't just want a tarot handbook. I can always learn. I am always learning. I think we all are. But I have sort of my own interpretations of the cards, so I don't need another tarot handbook. That's not super valuable to me. It's not super interesting to me. Something like this, which sounds like it is full of different exercises, journaling exercises, ways to play with the tarot, different correspondences, different kind of systems to look at the tarot with. This is what I want. This is what I find really interesting. I'm thinking of something like A New Direction in Tarot, which I read last year, which was full of exercises. That book was the one that looked at the images in the cards as if you were looking at a play, and the sort of directionality and the blocking on stage. I have just started reading The Neuroscience of Tarot, which I'm very excited about, and this is also full of exercises, journal prompts, different things to try to kind of understand the tarot from a new direction. And that sounds like that's what this book is. So I am extremely excited about it. I've also just read here, by the end of the book, you'll bring together all the knowledge you've learned to create your own tarot deck, a tangible reflection of your journey and a tool for continued spiritual growth and divinatory practice. This sounds so cool. So this is out on May 25th in the UK. I don't think I've pre-ordered this, but I'm definitely going to be prioritizing this one. Meg Jones-Wall, who was mentioned as a contributor to this, Tarot in Other Words, is also coming out with a new book. This is Tarot Spreads, How to Read Them, Create Them, and Revise Them. I am a big Meg Jones-Wall fan. I have Finding the Fool, and I also follow them on Instagram where they share a lot of tarot spreads, and I think I'm also signed up to their email list where they share a lot of tarot spreads. I really enjoy tarot spreads. How many times can I say the word spreads? I really like creating them, as I've done with my own like tarot mini zines, and I do over on Patreon every month. I really enjoy remixing tarot spreads. One of my favorite tarot books is Tarot Spreads by Barbara Moore, where she teaches you how to read a tarot spread and how different placements of cards kind of affect how the cards talk to each other in a spread. I love tarot spreads, so of course I am extremely excited about this book. I know I love Meg Jones-Wall's approach to tarot spreads, so I feel pretty confident that I'm going to enjoy this book. It seems like it's going to be a little bit of a similar book to that Barbara Moore one, because it sounds like it is one part telling you how to develop a spread and how to like get the cards to talk to each other in a spread, and then also has a substantial library of spreads included as well. I think it's going to be a book that I will get a lot of use out of. I like this. A special aspect of this book is it's focused on revising tarot spreads, editing, tweaking, or adjusting. That's something I do all the time anyway. That is something that I would encourage other people to do all the time anyway. Like, just because you're reading a spread that says it's got positions in a certain place, you can move them around if it makes more sense to you. And I really like that this is what's being focused on in this book. So can't wait for this one. I have a couple, literally 2 non-tarot related books that are on this wish list that I wanted to also share with you. This is The Language Puzzle by Stephen Mithen. This is specifically the paperback edition that is coming out on February 6th of this year. You can already get this book. I just have the paperback on my wish list because I don't buy hardbacks if I can possibly help it. And this is about language, the relationship between language, thought, and culture. And this is kind of social science, anthropology, drawing on the latest discoveries in archaeology, linguistics, psychology, and genetics. It is that kind of combination of different sciences, of different disciplines, bringing them together, looking at the evolution of language. I think language is so cool. I think that communication is really interesting, and obviously language is one of the most obvious ways that we communicate with each other. And I think that it's impossible to be interested in the tarot and not be interested in language and communication, at least to my mind, but what do I know? So this I think is really fascinating, and I'm sure I will get this at some point, add it to my ever-growing stack of non-fiction books on my TBR, and I'm really, really intrigued. Here we have a book with no image. This one isn't out till September 30th, which is actually the day after my birthday, and I have no idea how I came across this book, but this is The Human Ecosystem, an integrated approach to human structure, function, and dysfunction for students of natural medicine. I am not a student of natural medicine, but this kind of integrated approach, first of all, anything with the name ecosystem, I'm sold. And this kind of integrated approach, it just sounds really interesting. It is a textbook connecting the different functions, systems, and interactions of the human body as a whole, emphasizing the importance of reconnecting human health with nature. So I don't know if I will get this. I don't know if I am anything like the target audience. So I'm not sure how applicable this is to me, a kind of interested layperson, but I'm definitely going to keep my eye on it. It is out the day after my birthday, so like maybe that's a sign. This type of book is right up my street. Okay, we are moving on to oracle decks. This is Alchemy of the Spirit, an oracle deck to guide your journey into the self. This is out on the 20th of January in the UK. This is, I believe, already out because there are some images. Oh, we can get a better look at the cards. You see these colors? You see why I'm drawn to this, right? This is a no-brainer. I think this is so pretty. The thing that is making me hesitate is the fact that it seems to be a single keyword, and the keyword is kind of describing what is in the picture. I can't remember if, for instance, here the keyword is just like elephant or something. That kind of keyword titling system is not very productive for me personally in my tarot readings, because it's just kind of labeling what I can already see. So maybe not. I'm going to probably watch some walkthroughs. Also, with £28, that's not cheap for a mass market deck, so I'm not rushing to get this, but it is so pretty. The Halloween Forever Oracle by Jasmine Beckett Griffith, or rather, she's the illustrator for this. I do not have any of her decks. I know that she's got this very recognizable style with these like big-eyed girls, and I think she's a bit of like a Marmite artist. People seem to either really love her or really hate her. I was never super drawn to them, but like this Halloween Oracle, come on. I do kind of really love it. This Medusa's Mysteries with this evil looking cat. I honestly, I really love them. Especially this with the little black cat and these creepy baby skulls. This may well make its way into my collection in time for next Halloween. I'm not gonna rush to get it because it's specifically a Halloween deck. It's not just a dark and spooky deck, so it is quite specifically Halloween seasonal, but I would not be surprised if I end up getting this for next Halloween. The Venice Witch Oracle. I am so excited about the mass market release of this. I feel like there's been a mass market release in, I want to say French, but I could be entirely wrong. Point being, I think there's already been a mass market release somewhere in Europe, but this is an English language release. And look, do we see the absolute beauty that is this deck? The color palette, the pinks, the purples. It's so gorgeous. I really love like these colors here, like this red and this like turquoise. Like it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. It is a kind of single word or title keyword deck, which is not my favorite layout for an oracle deck, but it's so gorgeous that I think I may well end up getting it anyway. Let's have a look at the guidebook. So if we are only getting this like single, yeah, it looks like this is all we're getting in terms of the guidebook, which isn't life-changing. So I think it's probably one that I wouldn't use the guidebook with. I would just use the cards. And let's be real, I would use it just because it's pretty and just like the vibes of the reading. But there's nothing wrong with having a few decks like that in one's collection. So really excited to see that this is coming out. How many cards are we? Rockpool is usually not a lot of cards. So maybe it's only like 30. Do they do 36 usually? Well, this is card 33, so there's at least that many. So I don't know that I will rush to get it, but I definitely have my eye on it. Okay, this one there's no pictures, so I'm going to keep it brief. This is the Kitchen Witch Culinary Oracle deck. How to use everyday ingredients for magical meals and practical rituals. This is out on March 18th in the UK. It says it's a 50 card deck. And the reason this is on my list is purely because I am on the hunt for my perfect herbal oracle deck. And perhaps this will be what I want. I have not been able to find any pictures of this. I've had a Google. I have no idea what the cards look like or what kind of information is on them. I'm definitely waiting to see what more information comes out about it, but I am intrigued. This is the Pastel Prism Tarot, which is just so pretty. Also, it looks really familiar and I can't quite place it. I'm not sure if it just looks a very similar art style to the, was it just called the Rainbow Tarot that had a mass market release this year on really shitty cardstock? I'm not sure. The color palette's different, but the art style is really reminding me of it. I'm really intrigued by this like lemon tattoo on the Ace of Swords. I think that's really cool. It's really pretty. Will I get it? I don't know. Do I need it? No. But I love this really kind of campy emperor. That's fun. I think the colors are really pretty. It's hard to say no to a good sort of Rider-Waite-Smith clone, but at the same time, I definitely don't need any more Rider-Waite-Smith clones, so we shall see. The Gaian Tarot, Healing the Earth, Healing Ourselves. This is a second edition. There was a printing of this, I'm not sure when, and this looks like it's a new printing or new printing edition, and this is the same artist as the Herbcrafters Tarot. I'm obsessed with this 3 of coins, 3 of earth card. Even though I don't typically like realistic human looking people on my decks, I want to be in this room, I want to be in this kitchen with these 3. So I'm torn. It's very peoply. As you can see, it's very peoply, but it's beautiful. I also adore the Herbcrafters deck, and I'm not sure, is this a collaboration or is this solely created by the illustrator? Amazon is not always correct about these things, but it does list only Joanna Powell Colbert as the creator. Like I say, same artist as the Herbcrafters Tarot. The big thing I love about that deck is the guidebook, and I can't off the top of my head remember if the guidebook was collaborative or if it was solely illustrated by Joanna Powell Colbert and written by somebody else. I'm not sure, I need to look that up, but I love the Herbcrafters Tarot. This just looks gorgeous. It just looks gorgeous, and maybe it will be the realistic people deck for me. I'm intrigued by this. It looks really gorgeous. It is out on the 28th of April, and I may well end up getting myself a copy at some point. Okay, Desert Illuminations Tarot. This is one that I feel like we've been waiting to come mass market for the longest time. It was an indie deck. It's come mass market. It's coming out this year. It's beautiful. It's deserty and it's got aliens in it. Like, what more could we possibly want? I do not know if this is exactly the same as the indie edition. I don't know if there's been any alterations. I do not have a copy of the indie, so I couldn't tell you, but these bags are gorgeous. I will be watching some walkthroughs. I will be scrutinizing those walkthroughs for cardstock quality, and then I may well end up getting myself a copy. This reckons it's out on the 1st of May, but it is a US games deck, and as anyone else in the UK will already know, it's really rough getting US games decks over here on time. So I'm not sure when we'll actually see this in the UK, but I am very excited to see that it is being published mass market. The Wise Earth Medicine Tarot is by Lelania Simone, who also created the Cosmic Seed, which is also out mass market, either now or very shortly. And there's another oracle as well. This is very exciting. Okay, yeah, the Tarot of the Cosmic Seed was indie, Hascon Mass Market. This is out on the 28th of January. I think I've decided against this one, at least at this time, for my collection. I will look at this in a minute. But the Wise Earth Medicine Tarot I've never seen before. There is also no information about it on Amazon. This isn't out until the 25th of May. And it looks like it is an animal deck in this kind of really colourful collage-y style, and the cards have keywords. So it is a tarot, it's the tarot structure, but we've got keywords, and this is another one where I'm going to have to watch walkthroughs to see how I feel about the keywords. The main reason this is on this list is because we've got a magpie. How could I not? How could I not add the Magpie deck to my wish list? This is the Three of Wind, which is three of like air swords. Heartache, loss, separation. There's another deck with magpies on the Three of Swords. It is the Witch Sister Tarot. Has magpies in the Three of Swords. And I'm like, can we have magpies on happier cards, please? I've got another deck that has them in the Devil. And the Fifth Spirit has them in the Seven of Swords. Like, they don't have a very good reputation, but anywho, this is really pretty. Like I say, it's going to come down to the keywords for me. I'm not sure that I'm going to love it. Oh, but it is really pretty, so we shall see. Okay, and then what is this Oracle of Awakening? This is already available. This came out right at the end of last year. This came out in December. Ooh, the pink gilded edges. I remember seeing this. I remember seeing this on Kickstarter, I think. Radical acceptance, embrace non-judgment, gentleness, compassion, kindness, soft. It's very beautiful. I am light, pure, divine essence. I think it is not. Oh, I don't. I'm going to watch some walkthroughs. Once I'm done filming, I'm going to go to YouTube. I'm not sure this is necessarily my flavour of Oracle deck, but it is also not what this video is supposed to be about. So let's move on. Okay, this was a Kickstarter. This was indie, I think only like last year. Or maybe I'm entirely misremembering. And it's coming out mass market on the 28th of June this year. There are images. Look at it. Look at this. First of all, we have a fungi suit, tentacles, the collage. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I love these borders. I love that the borders are like, we've got like, you can see the little mushroomy illustrations and then the little tentacles. I'm assuming tentacles is like water. Here's our Wheel of Fortune. It's a very blurry picture, I'm sorry, but I'm thrilled that this is coming out at mass market. I will be getting this. I have not pre-ordered it, but I will be getting this. I can tell you that much for sure. Oh, and it comprises 80 cards, so we've obviously got a couple of extra cards in there. Oh, here we go. The Perspicacious Platypus and Boudica the Queen. And I think perspicacious means like you're very smart or like discerning. So that's fun. Anyway, very excited about this one. That one is definitely going to join my collection. The Mindscapes Tarot. I think this is was a Kickstarter indie deck, is now going mass market. It looks like Hay House are bringing this one out. It is out in July this year. And do we have images? No. Okay, I'm gonna have to Google to find some images because this looks really pretty. All right, so here we've got some more images. And I was like, I don't think I want it badly enough to pre-order it, but actually maybe I do. I can't tell if the card images are kind of pixelated and blurry or if that is just the photographs. I feel like they're maybe trying to, like, supposed to be like quite soft focus, but then here it looks like it's a bit clearer, whereas like this looks a bit fuzzy, but I think that is just the image as a whole. It's so pretty, this like landscape tarot. It reminds me a little bit of course I can't remember what it's called. Was it called like the Landscapes Tarot or something? That was a fine art deck, right? And it's totally beautiful and totally out of print and very hard and expensive to come by. But this kind of reminds me of that. I really like, this might sound quite random, I really like the effect that they've done with the borders. I like a borderless deck, but I also do quite like like a white border deck with this like crayon-y outline. I don't know, I just really like it. This is gorgeous. Maybe I do want to pre-order this. Death. We've got a field. Death. Agriculture? I'm not sure. There's a polar bear. Okay. Temperance. That's beautiful. Oh my goodness. Devil. Like, look at this with the reflections and how that has been detailed. That's gorgeous. The star. Okay, maybe I do want to pre-order this. It's absolutely stunning. I would love to see some minors. Oh, it is a major arcana deck. Although I think this is an 80 card deck. So the Kickstarter or indie edition was a major arcana deck. And then this is a full, well, an 80 card, so a full plus a couple extras deck. So I will want to see what the minors look like, because those majors are stunning and beautiful and gorgeous. But it will depend on how the minors look and if I like them as much. So I will wait to see some sort of previews or walkthroughs. But this one, I'm extremely, extremely excited about. Oh, this is cool. Okay, each card from Ace through 10 depicts the same scene through the seasons and years, the same place in times of plenty and times of lack. Okay, either that will be done really well or really badly. Remains to be seen. Okay, and then finally, this isn't out this year, but I simply couldn't resist. There's gonna be a Princess Bride tarot deck. It's not out till 26. It's an Insight Editions deck, so it really could go one way or the other. I love the Princess Bride because of course, Insight Editions have done a couple of good decks. They've done a lot of bad decks. So it remains to be seen. I am seriously crossing everything that this is going to be a good deck. So I'm going to wait to see who's going to illustrate this, whether it's going to be any good, but I'm definitely keeping my eye on this. And with that is everything on my 2025 wish list so far. As I record this, is the 2nd of January, so we shall see what else gets added over the course of the year. But let me know what you have on your wish list. What are you eyeing up that is coming out this year? Is there anything I've missed? Have I added anything to your wish list? Sorry, not sorry. That's it from me. Thank you so much for joining me here. I really hope you've enjoyed. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you'd like to see more from me, do head on over to Patreon and join us over there. There is a link in the description box below, along with a link to my Etsy store for readings and my tarot spread scenes. Give me a like if you liked this one, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.